What is the experience or feeling of making that leap into entrepreneurship?
Well, for me, it probably wasn't a huge leap because I was always doing something. And my role models, again, the family, everybody was in some kind of business. And so that was what we talked about at the kitchen table, and that's what they talked about when we went fishing or hunting, about they were doing this and doing that. So I saw what my grandfather went through, what my dad went through, and the uncles went through. And so I kind of always had that, that entrepreneurial thing. And grandparents on both sides. And what we were unique also is my grandmothers on both sides worked in the business. They ran their offices.
Wow.
So that's just what everybody did, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so always had this entrepreneurial spirit, and it's really interesting. One of my best friends, closest friends, he grew up in a totally different thing, so he's always asking, how'd you figure this out? And that's what we always did. And so, but I think also in addition to that, the 20 years as CPA, I spent a lot of time trying to understand business models and understand why the dress shop on one side of the street did really, really well, but the dress shop across the street didn't. This before malls, right?
Yeah.
Lost their shirts.
Yeah.
And so I've always been very inquisitive about that and trying to figure out what worked and what didn't work. And then when we got the chance to do something a little bit bigger, then you just apply those things and the things that worked, and trying to understand exactly how it works. But I think other than playing ball, I've done it all my life. That's all we know.
Yeah.
But I think from that, then you learn a lot of things, like we don't have a high regard for government. We don't have a high regard for people that are in our way, because business folks, they have a calling. I may not think it's a calling, but at the end of the day, they have a calling. They're drawn to whatever this is. It may be a bakery, it may be a construction business, whatever it is. And they just want to grow their business.
Yeah.
They just want to, feed more families and hire more people. And very few of them do it for the money.
Yeah.
It's just, hey, this is what God wired me. This is what I'm good at. This is what I want to do, and I want to continue doing it.
Yeah.
And then anybody that gets in the way, we generally have a dim view of it.
That's the truth. That is so the truth. What was your lowest moment as an entrepreneur, and how did you push through it?
Lowest moment, there's no question, lowest moment is about 6 months, a year into the first healthcare business. We had a really bad occurrence at one of our centers. And, when you think about healthcare, you're talking about fallen people taking care of fallen people. And somebody just made a bad mistake, and it's a really bad outcome.
Yeah.
And that, I think, changed my life. I think changed me, changed my approach to things. But that was, no question, that was the lowest moment.
Yeah.
I still remember the patient's name.
Yeah.
And that was almost 30 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, those things tend to stick with you.
Yes.
Yeah. What's the key to building a team that performs well and believes in your vision?
What's the old book is, you want to get the right people on the bus and the right seats and so forth. I think what really helped me was playing team sports. And so I'm an old baseball player, an old football player, but more of a baseball player. And, to have a good baseball team, it's getting people in the right positions, get them in the right batting order, and just learning that. And then if you think about it, how different generally, I was a first baseman, so it means I was slow. Hit the ball, but I was slow. But between me and my good buddy who was out in center field that could run like a deer, right? And if we switched positions, it wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work, right? And so, but when you play baseball, and again, I did that from the time I was 5, you could just see the different talents. Well, that's it, right? And then again, when you read the Bible, right, and the church is made up of so many different people that God gave us all different gifts, and for us to move the church forward, we have to have everybody, because everybody's got a different gift to be able to move forward the church. So just really applying that, understanding that everybody's a little different, everybody gets motivated a little different, and trying to figure out what that is and make sure they get in the right fit. Because a lot of times if you have to let somebody go, it's because we made a hiring mistake.
Yeah.
right? We didn't ask the right question. We didn't spend enough time with them. They didn't have the proper training. I always felt like it was generally my mistake, my fault, because we put somebody in a place they couldn't. Very seldom was it they just were not performing. Although we all go in the valleys, right? We all have really tough times in life. But putting that team together, investing in that team, spending time with that team, that's what I did. So I was never sitting at a desk person. So when we got strung out over the years, I spent 50 or 60,000 miles on the road because I wanted to look at people, I wanted to talk to people on the front lines, I wanted to see what they needed, I wanted to walk those halls, I wanted to talk to those patients. And that's when you really know what you need.